My name is Jill Morelli. I'm the facilities director here at the University of Washington for the School of Medicine. The grant itself and our application was for work to review the literature that's associated at that time with on learning spaces. We were looking for scientific rigor around the classrooms to find out what was driving decision-making in higher education concerning the design of classroom. There's an awful lot of subjectiveness to the thought process, or there was an apparent subjectiveness of the thought process around that topic. But we didn't see a lot of, I'm making this decision because. And we wanted to see if there was, in fact, scientific rigor around any of the decisions that were being made for classrooms. And we were very happy to see that there, in fact, was. We gathered those together. We put that into a large document for SCUP. SCUP then published that document. What we found on the literature for the classrooms was that if there was any research being done at all, it was pretty much being done on active learning classrooms. The Teal classroom model from MIT, for example, the TILE project at Iowa, there's a DEAL project, I believe, in England, and this is where the research was actually being done. They were doing comparisons of the pedagogy being, or the class being taught in one classroom type and then it coming into the active learning classrooms, and was there an outcome difference? What was sometimes difficult in any of the kind of research that we found was that it's very difficult to measure the outcome. What should be the expectation that we get out of a classroom that is well designed versus one that is not well designed, and so, or isn't designed for the pedagogy that's being taught? We found occasional studies that were done around issues in other kinds of classrooms. It was disappointing overall, however, in that we didn't find a lot in any of the categories at all.
Sounds like the outcomes from the project have already begun to change the way, or influence the way in which you and your colleagues are thinking about learning spaces.
We would certainly say that this has been, I won't say maybe life-changing, but certainly significantly changing for the 5 of us who worked on it. Each of us are now working on things more independently, but most recently we found that we are now ready to get back together again. And so the group will start meeting again here soon so we can compare some of those changes that have occurred. A couple of them just here that I know of at the University of Washington has been the development of a freeware that is available for all higher education institutions that's called Space Scout. And the students, it's a downloadable app onto, of course, your smartphone or your any electronic device. And the point of it is that at any point in time, a student can stand in the middle of our campus and go, I need an informal or a formal learning space, and it needs to have these characteristics, and tell me where the nearest one is. And we're starting to get to a point of where we may be able to download data from that, so we'll see which are the most popular. Which ones offer the kind of mix of things that the students want to have. And once we start gathering that data, then we'll be able to, again, make better decisions as we design our buildings and our classrooms in the future as well, and our informal spaces. There's been very little research on our informal learning spaces. The difficulty with informal is that it includes external and internal spaces. And there certainly were a couple of studies on external informal learning spaces, our outdoor spaces. I think we were disappointed that there weren't more. we're seeing that this idea of having a technology answer is necessary so that it's actually ubiquitous throughout the entire system of higher education. But I don't think that it dooms the physical place. In fact, I'm more confident than ever that the physical place will be important. And those physical places will be places like informal internal spaces, informal external spaces, and our formal spaces being much more adaptable.